Sarah Williams woke to a strange heaviness on the left side of her face. At first it was just a dull ache, the kind you get after sleeping awkwardly. She rubbed her cheek, expecting the feeling to fade, but instead her skin pulsed faintly under her fingers. It wasn't pain exactly, it was movement. She sat up in bed, disoriented. The morning light streamed through the curtains, painting the room in gold, and for a moment everything seemed normal. Then she looked in the mirror. Her reflection made her gasp. The left side of her face was swollen, puffy beneath the eye and along the jawline. It looked as if she'd been stung by a bee, but worse. The skin was stretched and flushed pink, and when she leaned closer, she could swear she saw something twitch under the surface. She stepped back, pressing a trembling hand to her cheek. "It's just an allergic reaction," she muttered to herself. "Maybe from the hike." 3 days ago, she and her husband, Mark, had gone camping by a river outside their town. It had been beautiful. Wildflowers, buzzing insects, the sound of frogs at night. She remembered slapping at a few mosquitoes but thought nothing of it. Now her skin pulsed again, once, twice. By noon, the swelling had worsened. Her left eye was nearly half shut. Mark noticed as soon as he came home from work. "Sarah, what happened to your face?" he exclaimed. "I don't know," she said, voice trembling. "It started this morning and now, it's like something's inside." "Inside?" He frowned. "You mean under the skin?" "Yes." She looked at him with wide, frightened eyes. "I can feel it moving sometimes. Like..." She stopped, not wanting to finish the thought. Within an hour, they were in the emergency room. The smell of antiseptic filled the air, and the waiting area hummed with murmured voices and beeping monitors. Sarah sat hunched in the chair, pressing a cold compress to her cheek while Mark filled out the forms. When the triage nurse saw her face, she didn't hesitate. "Come with me, please." They were led into a small, brightly lit room. A young doctor entered moments later. Dr. Patel, his name tag read. His calm demeanor helped at least a little. He examined the swelling carefully. "When did this start?" "This morning," Sarah said. "It was just itching at first. But then it started to move." "I know it sounds crazy." Dr. Patel didn't smile or dismiss her. Instead, he tilted his head and said softly, "Can you show me where exactly you feel the movement?" She pointed to a spot just below her left eye. "Here. It feels like something crawling." The doctor nodded slowly and called for a dermatoscope, a magnifying device with a small light. As he examined the area, his brows drew together. He pressed lightly with a gloved finger, and under the skin a faint line shifted like a ripple. Mark saw it too and paled. "Oh my God!" Dr. Patel kept his composure. "It's moving under the surface," he murmured. "We'll need to take a closer look. Nurse, prepare for a small incision. Get the minor surgical tray." Sarah's heart began to pound. "What are you going to do?" "Nothing major," he assured her. "I just want to relieve the pressure and see what's causing it." But his voice was tighter now, and the nurse's hand shook slightly as she opened the sterile instruments. They numbed her cheek with a local anesthetic. Sarah's fingers dug into the edge of the gurney as Dr. Patel made a small, careful incision. Blood welled up instantly, and then, to everyone's horror, something white moved beneath it. At first it looked like a thin thread. Then it wriggled. The nurse gasped. Mark took a step back, his face ashen. Dr. Patel quickly grabbed a pair of tweezers and clamped down on the thing just as it began to retreat beneath the skin. With slow, deliberate precision, he pulled. The movement under her face stretched downward, and then a pale, slimy, worm-like parasite emerged, twisting and curling as it came free. It was alive. The nurse stumbled back, covering her mouth. Someone swore under their breath. Sarah froze in shock, her breath caught in her throat. She could feel it sliding out, a sensation so nauseating she thought she might faint. When the last inch finally came free, Dr. Patel dropped it into a metal tray. The creature was long, at least 10 centimeters, and glistened under the light. It squirmed violently before going still. The doctor took a step back, exhaling slowly. "Dirofilaria," he said at last. "It's a type of parasitic worm. Normally found in animals, dogs mostly. Humans are rare hosts." Sarah blinked at him, disbelieving. "You mean that thing was inside my face?" "I'm afraid so," he said gently. "Most likely transmitted through a mosquito bite during your trip." Mark's knees almost gave out. That was alive inside her. Dr. Patel nodded grimly. It migrated under her skin, that's why she felt it moving. If we hadn't removed it, it could have moved toward her eye or even her brain. Sarah's lips trembled. Oh God. The nurse quickly cleaned the incision, still visibly shaken. I've never seen anything like that before, she whispered. By the time they transferred the specimen to the lab, word had spread through the hospital. A small crowd gathered outside the observation window as the parasite wriggled inside a sealed vial. Even the seasoned staff couldn't look away. That thing came out of her face, someone murmured. Unbelievable. In the recovery room, Sarah lay pale but awake. Her cheek was bandaged, her body trembling from adrenaline. Dr. Patel came in, removing his gloves. You did very well, he said softly. It's over now. She swallowed hard. I felt it. Moving inside me, for days. I thought I was imagining it. He nodded kindly. You weren't. You listened to your body, and that saved you. Mark sat beside her, still holding her hand tightly. He'd barely spoken since the procedure. Finally, he managed a shaky laugh. You always said mosquitoes loved you. I guess they really did. Sarah gave a weak smile through tears. I'll never go hiking again. Dr. Patel smiled faintly. Just wear repellent next time. And if you ever feel anything, moving again, don't wait. Everyone in the ER that day would later describe the same feeling, a mix of horror and awe. The parasite, still alive when extracted, was preserved and sent to the university for research. But for Sarah, the real memory wasn't the worm. It was that first moment of terror in front of the mirror, when her body had tried to warn her and she'd almost ignored it. As she left the hospital 2 days later, the air outside felt cleaner, cooler. She turned her face toward the sun, feeling the soft breeze brush her skin, her whole living skin, and whispered quietly, never again. The world around her looked the same as before, but deep inside she knew she'd never forget the day something alien moved beneath her flesh, and the doctors who pulled it out, turning panic into relief and horror into gratitude for the simplest thing of all, being alive.